Am I the asshole for getting mad at my mum for making my girlfriend sleep on the floor? Throwaway. My girlfriend, Rose, and I have been together for 4 years and she is 5 months pregnant with our first child. My mum seemed to really like Rose, or at the very least tolerated her. But after we announced that we were expecting, something definitely switched in her. She has become extremely rude and disrespectful towards my girlfriend. She makes passive-aggressive comments at every chance she gets. I've had to take a step back from my mother until she fixes her behavior. Rose had gone to visit her family who lives far out of town. It was a very last-minute trip, and she drove herself to the destination and back. Unfortunately, at around 6 p.m., her car broke down and she was forced to pull over. Fortunately, my brother, Chris, who's great with cars and lives about an hour and 1/2 from where Rose was stranded, was willing to pick her up and sorted everything out. I was out of the country, so I'm grateful that my brother sorted everything out for her. Chris moved back in with my mum about a year ago. Obviously, the situation wasn't the best, especially considering the tension between Rose and my mom that exists for no particular reason, but I hoped my mum could put her pettiness aside for at least a night. It was too late for Chris to drive Rose back home, so my brother told her that he would drive her back tomorrow morning. An arrangement that my mum seems to not like, but one that she managed to keep her mouth shut about, my girlfriend tells me. Rose helps prepare dinner, wash up, and actually engage in a decent conversation with my mum for the first time in ages. However, they mostly avoid each other. Chris goes to bed earlier, leaving my mum and Rose. My mum lives in a 2-bedroom apartment and since both bedrooms were taken, Rose assumed that she would be sleeping on the couch. She apparently assumed wrong. My mum gives Rose the thinnest blanket ever and basically screams at her, telling her that she has to sleep on the floor to not ruin her couch. She tells Rose to make do with the pillows on the couch and the blanket that provides zero warmth. Rose thought about protesting, but ultimately decided against it. According to Rose, my mum kept opening her door to check if she was sleeping on the couch, so she couldn't even try to sleep on the couch. At 5 a.m., Chris found Rose on the couch and let her sleep on his bed. He ended up telling me, but told me to not make a big fuss out of it. I did the exact opposite. I called my mum, very angry, and told her that she was disrespecting her so badly. She tried to defend herself by saying that she didn't harm the baby, and it's okay for pregnant women to sleep on the floor, but I refused to hear any of it. Chris agrees with me, but told me that I shouldn't make it a fight. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole, but I would put boundaries on the mother seeing the baby. She shouldn't see the kid unless she can respect the mother. Edited. Wow, I'm the top comment. Thanks for the awards, you guys. I get to tell my mom I'm internet famous now, lol. Pregnant or not, who makes a guest sleep on floor to not ruin the couch? Not the asshole. Not the asshole, and thank you for standing by your partner. And your mom is a total asshole here. Who makes a pregnant woman sleep on the floor when there's other options? Your mom definitely has some sort of grudge that she needs to get over, and quickly. Not the asshole. Who makes a pregnant woman sleep on the floor? For that matter, who makes a guest sleep on the floor? If the couch gets dirty, just flip the cushions and move on with your life. Thank your brother for being the adult in the room, and tell your mom that she's jeopardizing her relationship with you by treating your girlfriend so poorly. It's okay for pregnant women to sleep on the floor. I honestly have no idea if this is medically accurate or not because it has genuinely never occurred to me that someone would even consider doing it. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Setting aside the discussion about pregnant women sleeping on the floor and whether the mother should have offered a bed. Your mother was checking on her to make sure she didn't dare ruin the couch. Stand up against that now because that treatment is not acceptable whether she's pregnant or not. Am I the asshole for saying no to my boss after she asked me to watch her kids this weekend? So my 22F sister is getting married this coming weekend and I will be gone Thursday, Sunday. I've had this known that I was going to be gone for 7 months. I would even remind every month or so just so I knew she knew. I nanny 2 amazing kids who are 6 and 8. This is the first time I have ever asked to have some time off. My boss has always been like, oh yeah, sure. Sounds like a beautiful wedding. However, I got a text 2 hours ago saying she really needed me this weekend and she couldn't find anyone else. I was pissed, but I know how to act calm, since ya know it's my job to stay happy and calm. I texted her back a quick apology but said I really didn't want to miss my sister's wedding as she's my only sibling. Well, boss woman went off the deep end and said that if I didn't show up to watch her kids this weekend that I won't have a job come Monday. I replied with this exactly. Blank. I'm so sorry that you are having a hard time looking for someone to cover. I can reach out to a few nanny friends I have and see if any of them would like to pick it up. This is a once-in-a-lifetime moment for my sister, and if it means I will lose my job then sadly I will have to accept that. I love this job and your kids and I hope we can work something out. I think it would devastate, blank, and, blank. But you do what you need and I will accept that. She threw a few insults at me and said I'm abandoning her kids. IDK what to do? I don't want to get a new job because I work so well with these two kiddos. My mom told me I was an asshole for so quickly accepting that I might get fired and told me that work just sucks sometimes and you have to suck it up. Mom says I should be an adult and just miss my sister's wedding. IDK should I? Am I really that big of an asshole for saying no? Edit. Just to clarify, me and my mom don't have a good relationship. I didn't ask her for her advice. She was in the room with my sister and as I was venting to my sister. I would have gone no contact at 18 if it wasn't for my dad. Can we please stop talking about it now? I have a lot of trauma from her, but that's for another day lol. Your mom's right. Sometimes life sucks and you have to suck it up. That is sound advice for your boss. Her weekend plans cannot trump her children. If she can't find coverage, she has to take care of them herself. That sucks, but she has to suck it up. Not the asshole. If you give in on this, she will not respect your time ever. Do you really think she's going to find a new nanny by Monday? No chance. It's an empty threat. And if it's not, you don't need to work for that kind of a monster. Not the asshole. Mom says I should be an adult and just miss my sister's wedding. That would be wrong. You handled this situation professionally, like an adult, from the outset. Not the asshole. You gave her plenty of notice and she agreed. Don't you dare skip your sister's wedding because this woman couldn't be bothered to arrange alternate care for her own children. Your boss threatened to fire you for taking your first time off ever, with 7 months' notice, to go to your sister's wedding. Read that again. You need to look for a new job, wedding or not, and I say that as an employer who has people ask for time off all the time. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. It's not just about missing your sister's wedding. It's about setting boundaries now for how your boss is allowed to treat you in the future. If you give in, she will keep making unreasonable requests whenever it suits her and ignoring your needs for as long as you work for her. You asked for time off with plenty of advance notice, and she agreed. If she won't honor that, get out of there. No one deserves to be insulted and threatened for holding such a reasonable boundary. There are lots of amazing kids out there for you to work with. I feel sorry for hers, but it's not a good enough reason to sacrifice your quality of life in a toxic work environment. Am I the asshole for not wanting to invite my autistic sister to my art show? I, 18 female, got into this prestigious art show that I am really excited about. It opens up on Friday and there's going to be a party, but I didn't tell my family because I didn't want my sister, 24 female, to come. Long story short, my sister's autistic. She's really smart, she went to an Ivy League school, but does not do well with social cues. Usually, this leads her to belittling me and being mean. My parents always tell me to get over it, and that since she's autistic, she can't help it. But she doesn't unleash on them the same way that she unleashes on me, so I don't think they really understand. Every time something good happens to me she just kinds of shits on it, and she never, ever apologizes. Anyhow, my parents found out about the art show and got mad at me for not telling them. They told me they'll be coming to the opening with my sister, since she's currently living with us. I ended up breaking down and begging them not to bring her. I worked so hard for this, and since she thinks that my paintings are silly in the first place, I know she's going to try bringing me down in front of my friends and teachers. I asked if they could just wait until after the party and go later. The show will be up for a week, but they said they'd be coming to the party. They also said I was being ableist by wanting to exclude my sister. My sister found out and started screaming at me and calling me an asshole for not letting her share in this moment with me. From my point of view, I just want to have a happy night and celebrate this accomplishment, but IDK. Everyone in my family's pissed at me, so maybe I am the asshole? Too long did not read. My sister insults me all the time and I didn't invite her to my art show because of it. But my family think I'm an asshole for not doing that. Not the asshole. I wouldn't want someone to come and publicly shit on the thing I worked so hard for. Also, pretty sure people with autism can figure out how to not be jerks just like the rest of us. Autism isn't an excuse for being dismissive and unkind. Not the asshole. Being autistic isn't a free pass to being an abusive asshole. My daughter's autistic. She still gets sent to her room for a timeout when she's being inappropriate. Not the asshole. I may be wrong, but I think your parents have been doing your sister quite a disservice by writing off her being mean to you as a feature of her autism, not to mention ignoring emotional abuse of you. Of course she won't catch social cues easily, but it seems like she has capacity to learn some methods to help that. It's not doing her any favors to not keep working on that. She'll end up having more and more conflict in the future with others. Not the asshole, and your parents suck. You're entitled to choose who supports you at these events. You've explained the concerns you have, and your parents completely ignored the issue without even acknowledging the validity of your feelings. All three of them can take a hike. Not the asshole. Honestly, if your sister tries to come in, just ask the security to drag her out, since it seems that show is important to you. Your family doesn't even have minimum respect for you. They can't just decide to come to your workplace when you clearly said you don't want them. It's ridiculous. Not the asshole. I hope when you're able to move out you can cut down on some of your direct contact with these people. You deserve to enjoy things, and I truly believe autism is irrelevant in this scenario. Your sister just sucks. I'm a stranger, but I'm proud of you for getting your artwork into a show. That's a big deal. Am I the asshole for leaving after my sister kept calling me gay in front of my girlfriend and not paying? I, 30 male, have been together with my girlfriend Linda, 29 female, for over 4 years and planning to purpose. My entire life I have been very private about my relationship since my family would get very noisy. This weekend I have invited my family and my girlfriend out for dinner, which I was comfortable to cover. During the entirety of the dinner my sister Chloe, 34 female, wouldn't stop calling me gay. She has been persuaded that I am gay since I was 16 and would always say something about it. This time she was saying how I'm using my girlfriend as a cover and that I don't need to be hiding this as they are all family. I have asked her multiple times to stop, as her saying all of this was making my girlfriend really uncomfortable, and it felt like she was disrespecting her and our relationship, since I'm a straight man. My sister however wouldn't stop and got it too far by saying I'm in a secret relationship with one of my best friends, which nearly made my girlfriend to cry. I had enough of this, took my girlfriend, left more than enough money to cover the bill for myself and Linda, and left. This also means my family now have to cover their own food and drinks. After we left they would bombard me with messages and calls saying I'm an asshole who can't take a joke and for leaving them to pay for the dinner, when I have invited them out. Am I the asshole? Don't bite the hand that feeds you. Not the asshole. Your sister is a bully, that's not a joke. Not the asshole. And disinvite those asshole from your wedding since, apparently, your relationship doesn't mean anything to them. Not the asshole, and that's not a joke. Your sister has been calling you gay for 14 years and making your girlfriend feel miserable during your entire relationship. She won't stop, so it's time to go no contact with her and with each member of your family that call it a joke. Ask them to explain the joke. What's the joke? Can you explain it me? Why is it funny? You know it upsets me, and you could tell it was upsetting my partner. So who found the joke funny? I don't recall anyone laughing. Aren't people supposed to laugh at jokes? This shit is just abusive garbage, and you were entirely justified to leave. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Your sister was being cruel and mean, under the disguise of being funny, and the rest of your family condoned the behavior. Don't blame you for leaving. Not the asshole. You have repeatedly asked her to stop that joke, and she didn't listen. Definitely an asshole. Instead of backing you up and telling her to stop, they actually supported her in that childish garbage. Had they supported you instead, you would, also, have been the asshole for bailing. But they chose to back your sister, so this is really just the logical consequence of their actions.